Man, it's your big brother K-Rino. I want to give y'all this one. Macaulay Culkin, who was a child actor back in the 90s, real popular, he was really, really good friends with Michael Jackson from his childhood years all the way up to his adult years. And he came out recently and really stood strong for Mike and was like, man, Michael Jackson ain't never did none of the things that he's always been accused of. That cloud has always been sitting over Michael Jackson's head about uh, bothering children and messing with children at Neverland and all of the things that mainstream media and the enemies of Michael Jackson tried to impose on him and tried to accuse him of back in the days on a couple of occasions. So Macaulay comes out and he stands firm and like, nah, Mike ain't never did that. And it's ironic because the climate that we living in now, that is like one of the hottest topics of the day about who was actually getting down like that and who has a history of getting down like that. And a lot of those people whose names are in those documents that we all know about, um, they're magically being protected. Sound like a Lucky Charms commercial. They're magically protected. They're being magically protected, and there's no serious exposing of those names. Okay, cool. They world, let them do what they do. Okay, but it's funny because if you really just do a little checking, you'll see that Michael Jackson, the FBI came out and said we can't really find any evidence. We can't find any evidence that Michael Jackson is guilty of these things that they would want him to be guilty of. And this is the FBI's conclusion. This ain't something that we just hoping on or wishing on faith and loyalty. No, this is what they've concluded. But I can remember having arguments with people black people who swore up and down that Mike was guilty based on what they saw being presented by mainstream media, based on the narrative that was fed to them. And you know how we are. When the media, the government, when they throw that alley oop, we as black people, we gonna catch it, go through our legs, 360 and dunk it. We take everything that they say, we believe it to be true. Um, but I'm a person who I like to see what kind of character that a person has. Meaning that if you were so adamant to accuse and to believe what people were saying about Michael Jackson or anybody else that may have going down that road, if you're so adamant to believe that, when the vindication comes, this is a good opportunity for you to display what kind of character you have. Will you be the one to say, oh man, I was wrong? Yeah, nah, I swung and missed on that one. I was wrong. But it's interesting that you'll find that not a lot of people will be willing to do that because wanting to be right, even when you're wrong, supersedes the truth, supersedes humbling yourself to say that I was wrong. So that's a character issue, and it's also a self-hate issue as it relates to black people because we are the ones who put fuel in the gas tank with a lot of the negative propaganda that comes out against other black people. The enemy don't even really have to do nothing no more because all they do again is they just alley oop it. They just put it out there because they have the control of the news outlets. They have control of all of the media outlets, and they can just pop the story out there, all the publications, and once we see it, doesn't matter if it says alleged, doesn't matter if it says accused, doesn't matter if it says it's being investigated on the possibility of, or it doesn't matter if it just flat out says, yeah, you did it. We take it as he or she did it if they're black. And it makes the job of the enemy easy because we are the ones spreading all of the information and so angry and having such a volatile attitude towards an individual that you don't even know. And I know some of y'all are thinking, well, man, but what if they really are wrong? What if they really are wrong? Then they're really wrong. But being on code means that we should be able to check that, to check them. We should be able to take our brother or our sister and deal with them. That should be our responsibility, not to try to uh, get views or try to impress massa by by creating our own public crucifixions of our brothers and sisters when they got out of pocket. And that's where the self-hatred comes in, or the mindset of what can I get out of this. We've lost our humanity in that regard. So, but we don't have the same energy for other people who are who the evidence shows that they are getting down the way that they are being accused of getting down. We don't have that same type of vitriol. And again, that's why it speaks to the self-hate. So I want to know what y'all think about that. Give me y'all's opinion on it. And let's be mindful to not jump the gun so fast, because Mike was hated because of the stances he took. He was hated because of the influence he had in exposing the industry. And they were fearing what he could implant in us to wise us up to shut them down. Always remember that. It's your big brother K-Rino. I'll catch y'all with another real soon. Peace.